We've all seen it, the heartwarming bond between a man and his dog, the playful joy of a canine companion. Dogs, for the most part, are creatures of loyalty and love. But out in the wild, I've learned that even the most domesticated animal can turn aggressive, and when it comes to survival, you need to be prepared for anything. Imagine this, you're strolling through the park, enjoying the sunshine, when suddenly you're faced with a growling, snarling beast, teeth bared, ready to attack. Your heart pounds, adrenaline surges, your instincts scream at you to run. But hold on, that's the last thing you want to do. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of danger, facing a situation that could mean the difference between life and limb. We're talking about surviving a dog attack. And trust me, knowing what to do in those crucial moments can be the deciding factor in making it out alive. Panic. It's a natural human response to danger. But when facing a potential dog attack, panicking can be your downfall. Remember, dogs are incredibly perceptive animals. They can sense fear like a sixth sense, and trust me, it doesn't make them any calmer. So what's the first rule of survival in this situation? Stay calm. Easier said than done, right? But it's about more than just keeping your cool. It's about taking control of the situation. Take a deep breath, steady your nerves, and remember you've got this. Avoid making any sudden movements. Jerky actions can be misconstrued as a threat, further agitating the dog. Instead, stand tall, but avoid appearing confrontational. Think of yourself as a rock, unwavering and steady in the face of a storm. Whatever you do, don't run. I can't stress this enough. Running triggers a dog's primal instincts, turning you into prey in their eyes. It's like ringing a dinner bell for a hungry predator. Remember, your demeanor is crucial in these tense moments. Project an aura of calmness, even if you're feeling anything but calm on the inside. It's about outsmarting the situation, not outrunning it. And who knows, that calm demeanor might just be the thing that diffuses the situation entirely. Now let's talk about creating a barrier between you and those teeth. Remember, your goal is to survive this encounter with minimal damage. Your hands, believe it or not, can be your greatest weapons in this scenario. Slowly and deliberately, raise your hands to chest level, palms facing out. This serves two purposes. First, it creates a visual barrier, a signal to the dog that you're not approaching or posing a threat. Second, and perhaps more importantly, it positions your hands to protect your vital organs, your face, throat, and chest. If the dog lunges, you're prepared. Use your arms to deflect the attack, pushing the dog away from your most vulnerable areas. Don't be afraid to use force if necessary. Remember, this is about survival. However, avoid striking the dog if at all possible. Hitting a dog, especially an aggressive one, can escalate the situation, making them even more determined to attack. Your goal is to deter, not to engage in a full-blown fight. Think of it like this. You're creating a safe space for yourself, a temporary shield while you assess the situation and plan your next move. Your hands are your tools, your first line of defense in this primal standoff. In the animal kingdom, direct eye contact is often interpreted as a challenge, a sign of dominance. And when it comes to a potentially aggressive dog, the last thing you want to do is challenge them on their own turf. Think back to encounters you've had with animals in the wild. A direct stare can be perceived as a threat, triggering a defensive or even aggressive response. The same principle applies here. Instead of locking eyes with the dog, which can escalate the situation, avert your gaze. Look down, look to the side, anywhere but directly at the dog. This subtle shift in body language can speak volumes. It communicates that you're not looking for a fight, that you pose no threat. Remember, it's about de-escalating the situation, not adding fuel to the fire. By avoiding direct eye contact, you're sending a clear message. I'm not here to cause trouble. This simple act can be surprisingly effective. It taps into the dog's innate ability to read body language, conveying your peaceful intentions. Sometimes the key to survival lies not in brute force, but in understanding the unspoken language of the wild. Chapter 4. Take charge, the power of commands. Now, if the dog appears to be someone's pet, there's a chance it might respond to commands. It's worth a shot, right? Even if it's not their owner's voice, a familiar command can sometimes cut through the aggression. Use a firm, authoritative voice, none of that wishy-washy stuff. Think alpha dog energy. Commands like stop, no, or down are universally understood in the canine world. The key here is confidence. Dogs can sense hesitation, so project an air of authority even if you're feeling anything but. Remember, you're tapping into that deep-seated instinct to obey, to respond to a leader. Don't be disheartened if the dog doesn't immediately obey. Sometimes the sheer force of your command, the change in your energy, can be enough to make them pause, to reconsider their actions. And that pause, that moment of hesitation, might just be the window you need to create some distance to further de-escalate the situation. It's about taking back control, reminding the dog who's really in charge. Chapter 5. The Defensive Curl, Protecting Your Vulnerable Spots. Let's face it, sometimes, no matter how calm and collected you are, the worst can happen. The dog might lunge, and you might find yourself on the ground. But don't lose hope. This is where your survival instincts really kick in. Remember what I always say, improvise, adapt, overcome. In this situation, your body becomes your fortress. Your goal is to protect your vital organs, your head, neck, and chest, from those teeth. Curl into a tight ball, tucking your chin to your chest and wrapping your arms around your head and neck. Think of it like a protective shell, shielding your most vulnerable areas from harm. I know it's not the most glamorous position, but trust me, it could save your life. This defensive posture minimizes the target area, making it more difficult for the dog to inflict serious damage. And while you're in this defensive position, use your legs to kick if necessary. Aim for the dog's chest or snout, areas that can deter them without causing lasting harm. Remember, this is about survival, about weathering the storm until help arrives. And sometimes, survival means swallowing your pride and assuming the most effective, even if it's not the most dignified position. Chapter 6. Distraction is key, creating a diversion. Out in the wild, I've learned that sometimes the best way to survive an encounter with a predator is to redirect their attention, to give them something else to focus on. And guess what? The same principle applies to a dog attack. Look around you. What do you see? A backpack, a water bottle, a jacket? Anything you can grab and toss away from yourself can serve as a valuable distraction. Remember, dogs are naturally curious creatures. By throwing an object in the opposite direction, you're essentially hitting their pause button. They see something new, something interesting, and their attention shifts, if only for a moment. That moment, that brief distraction, could be all you need to create some distance, to back away slowly and carefully, or to put another survival tactic into play. It's about using your surroundings to your advantage, turning everyday objects into tools for survival. Remember, in a life-or-death situation, every second counts, and a well-timed distraction can make all the difference. Chapter 7. Sound the alarm, calling for help. We're social creatures, us humans. And in times of trouble, we rely on each other for help. A dog attack is no different. Don't be afraid to shout for help. Remember that scene in every action movie where the hero yells for backup at the last minute? This is your action movie moment. Your voice is your weapon, and it's time to use it. Yell loudly and clearly. Shout for help, scream for someone to call 911, anything to attract attention and let people know you're in danger. Don't underestimate the power of bystanders. You never know who might be within earshot. A dog walker, a jogger, a group of friends enjoying a picnic. Your cries for help could be the very thing that prompts them to take action. Remember, there's no shame in calling for help. It's not about being a hero, it's about surviving. And sometimes, survival means swallowing your pride and asking for a lifeline when you need it most. Chapter 8. Bite and don't panic. First aid in the face of danger. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, the bite. If the dog bites you, stay calm. Panicking will only make things worse. Take a deep breath, assess the situation, and focus on minimizing injury. Apply pressure to the wound with a clean cloth. Clean the wound thoroughly with soap and water. Seek medical attention immediately. Outrow living to tell the tale. The aftermath of a dog attack. Surviving a dog attack is about more than just physical resilience. It's about mental toughness. It's about facing your fears head-on and coming out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. Remember, a dog attack can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. But knowing what to do in those crucial moments can be the difference between walking away unscathed and facing a long, painful recovery. So stay vigilant, stay aware of your surroundings, and never underestimate the power of your own instincts. And if the worst does happen, remember the lessons we've covered today. Because when it comes to survival, knowledge is power. A dog attack can happen suddenly, but you can survive it with the right techniques. Always stay calm, protect your body, and call for help. In any case, do not neglect to seek medical help after the attack.